this is all of the stuff congesting my garage, and it used to just be all over that back wall right there. Well, the other day we found a few maggots in here from all the rain and everything, so we're gonna empty out the garage, degrease and pressure wash the floor. I'm gonna turn that whole back wall into shelving using this. It's a simple job and anyone can do it. You just gotta watch a couple videos, get the right tools, and give it a shot. It's not very difficult. You pay someone, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. I'm doing this and my deck, and all together, I'm only $300 into materials. So, check this video out and give it a try for yourself. So, I still have more shelving to do. I'm gonna do 2 more rows going up. There's the first one. There's a 20-inch height between the bottom of that 2x4 and the floor. And then that one's got a 19-inch height. The next one's gonna have a 19-inch height, and then the remainder will be 18 inches. So I pretty much made like little jigs right there to use using like old 2x4 that I had, and those are currently cut to 19 inches, so I'll just place them on top of the lower level as you see, and then I can rest the 2x4 on top of them, and then I can screw in from there. Obviously, as I'm going, I'm making sure everything's level, making sure it's even though I'm using a jig. It's just, you know, never can be too precautious, and that honestly makes it go by so much easier and faster. I did all of this in like 10 minutes, maybe less, to be honest. Sorry, the camera keeps losing focus for some reason. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep going until I get all the way to the ceiling, and then after that I'm gonna build outward. So I'll get back to you when I get to that step. But this is extremely easy, and then obviously as you're going, just mark your studs, know where your studs are and stuff, so you know where to screw into. In my case, it's really easy because you could see all the seams. That's where all the studs are, so this was pretty easy, and this should be done pretty quick. So I'll get back to you once I get all of these up. So pretty much that's how you do that. You just set the jigs up like I did, like you just saw there. Do it all the way down. This wall is about 19 feet, so I'm putting 8 footers on either end, and then I'm putting 3 footers in the middle. I don't know, I like the symmetrical look better. It doesn't matter, you can do 8 footer, 8 footer, 3 footer, it's whatever. And it's all depending on your dimensions. With the height I have and the size bins I have, that's the reason why the bottom shelf is 20 inches. My biggest bins are 19 inches, so I figured I'd give an inch. Most of the other bins are about 18, 17 inches, so a couple 19-inch shelves there, and then the top one will just have a remainder of 18 inches to the joist of the ceiling. So this should be more than enough. And to be honest, it's still going to be full of bins in here, but it'll be a lot more cleaner looking, it'll be more organized. And when you need to get to the bottom bin, you don't need to take off all those bins above it. You could just pull it out like a drawer. So this is going to look better, and it's just going to all around, it's just going to look better in here. So that's kind of what I was going for here. So really easy project. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of this back wall, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do the rest of it. Now that the back wall frame is done, what I'm doing here is pretty much taking another 2x4 and I'm going to attach it to those all the way down. And what that's going to do is that's going to make my outer wall. Once I attach them all the way across, I'm going to put the vertical beams that are going to be on this outer side where I need to, and then I'll unscrew all these boards that I attached to those back frame boards, and I'll pretty much have my whole front wall. And then I'll go ahead and start assembling the side pieces to give me my depth, and then I'll attach this wall as if you're framing a wall for like a room. I'll attach this wall to those pieces, and it'll just make the whole process go a lot easier, and it'll be a lot more matched to that evenly if I do it this way. And honestly, it's a lot quicker, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will get back to you with the progress. So that's pretty much how I'm attaching that second frame, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to do that the rest of the way. And then once I attach them with the vertical boards, I'm going to detach it from the back wall. So I've gone ahead and attached those two vertical pieces to the outer part of the frame. Those are more decorative than anything, but they're about an inch thick, and they'll do pretty good for support. That's not going to be my only support. Where the 8-footers are meeting the 3-footers in the middle, I'm going to attach these 2x6s all the way up, and then I'm going to screw them into the joists for extra support. But because of how tall they are, I can't get them all the way over there. Probably should have thought of that before, but no big deal. This is still like the ideal way to do it. So the 8-footers are attached. The 8-footers for the front face are attached to the back wall frame. The 3-footers in the middle are not attached to the frame on the back. They're attached using pocket holes going into the sides as such. So that way I can keep them together, because now I'm going to remove all the screws that I put in from here into the back one, so that way this front face can come off, and then I'll be able to start working on the side pieces for the depth, and then I can attach it all as like one wall. I'll show you a little bit of that right now. Alright, so I got these in, and that one right there, and then the 2x6s are going to go here and here, and then I'm going to screw them into the joist. I can't fit them here right now because they're too tall. They'll be fine once it's out here, so I just went ahead and screwed these pieces in here just for some extra support. There's no such thing as too much support. The screws that are holding this outer frame to the back piece of frame, I'm going to remove those right now. I've already removed a few of them, and then this wall should just come right off. So once I remove those screws, this wall should just come right off the front portion of the wall. Remove it off, and then I'll do the side pieces of the framing, and then I'll attach it. So that's what I'm going to do right here, right now. Now, unless I've tightened something a little too much, like one of these, it should just come right off. Let's take a look. Alright, so it obviously still needs some more support, so it's going to be a little weak, and this is a 19-foot wide wall, but it is completely detached now, as you can see. So I'm gonna go grab some help, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pull this wall. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some help, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off. a little too much to do for one person, but I just wanted to show you that it's now detached. I mean, obviously there's a little bit of sagging here because it's not completely supported, but once the 2x6s are in, there's going to be no sagging. It'll be completely supported, and it's going to look great. I'll show you guys that one. So this is pretty much what I meant when I said I would separate it. So I pretty much built this wall on that wall and then just separated it. It's 19 feet wide, so it was kind of a pain, but I didn't really want to do it in pieces. Now I'm going to build the pieces to run from the back to the front at 21 inches because I want the depth of the shelves to be 24, and then 2x4s actually are more like 1.5 inches thick, so 21 inches should give me a 24-inch deep shelf. And then once I get this attached to those side pieces that come out, I'll take the 2x6s and I'll attach them right there where all these rigged up supports are, and then it'll pretty much be done. After that, all I'm going to need to do is cut down the plywood, put it down for the shelving, and that's it. So this is the shelving all framed out. I used 4.5-inch lag screws, one about every foot on the back wall, so that's definitely not going anywhere. 2 on the sides, and then I used pocket screws with pocket holes for all these guys right here in the middle, and I faced them up on purpose because it's going to be covered with plywood, so you're not going to see any screw holes. Really all I needed for support was those 2 2x6s in the middle, and they are screwed with the joist up top, so they're not going anywhere. And then those do help, but for the most part they're just decorative pieces. I have them all around the garage, so it just matches real nice. But now I just got to cut down the plywood, put it on, and this is all done. I'm going to go ahead and use some degreaser, scrub down the floor, pressure wash it, and then get everything back in here. Alright, so since it's all up and I got my garage washed the best I can, I got to put the plywood for the shelving. Plywood sheets are 4x8. I'm using 3/4 inch, and I need them to be 2x8 to fit on there. So I made this little jig. I took this 2x4, clamped it down about 1.25 inches away from where I need to make the cut, so that way my circular saw can ride all the way down it and make this cut for me. It's extremely simple. I'm gonna see if it's easier doing it with the table saw, but this seems to be the more comfortable method. I feel like I'm gonna get a straighter cut this way, but I'm gonna try out the next board on the table saw and see if it makes a difference or if it's quicker. Alright guys, so obviously the garage is still very full, and a lot of that's gonna go. That TV is going in the trash. Those tables are gonna go up in the rafters after tomorrow, since tomorrow is the 3rd of July. We're gonna have some people over. Back there in that corner there's an old dresser and a hutch that's going to be sold when we do our yard sale. But that back wall, which looked like an absolute mess, is way better now, and then I might actually put some hangers up in the rafters for the bikes. Got rid of that little cabinet thing that was there, made like a little shelf for the radio and stuff. Toolbox is still there, and then I put up that little cabinet in that corner for the dogs' toys, and this cabinet here for all the chemicals and everything like that. But the garage is definitely much neater with this being done now. And I pressure washed the floor and stuff, got it as clean as I could. Let me get focused there. Some of these stains and stuff have just been in here for years, and they're not going anywhere unless I get like some really extreme degreaser. But no, this is really all I wanted to do, kind of put stuff that we access a lot right there, and then put stuff that we don't mess with a lot in that corner. And then again, like I said, this is all going to get cleared out, and that was just being crazy because of COVID. So, bought a bunch of unnecessary stuff. But yeah, this is it. It turned out great. I've laid on pretty much every single one of those shelves, and I'm about 215 pounds. So the screws I used are all rated for about 1,000 pounds, so I don't think it's going anywhere. But yeah, that's it. Let me know what you think.